Ahon! Askoksak! Udu! Panumwa! Uyewu! Tumwa! Koch! Unishuka Tumwa! Yewi! Dihaye! Aki! Dashon! Pukateo! Sukoham, want to call. Okashun, Tono, Papamik, Akik, Kekun, Tupe don ti tona, Kuke don mu, Ko ti tona, Koch. Umawa, Wutino. Kukina wa pata mutona winkashak nukut Good evening. My name is Charles Running Eagle. What you just heard was the Native American prayer in the Virginian Algonquin tongue. I'd like to translate that for you now. Great Spirit, insects, winged ones, four-legged, two-legged. Four directions, earth, wind, fire, and water. Thunder beams, four winds. Let us walk softly on Earth Mother. Let us share honor and love. Let us learn to be good. All my relations.
I know where I must go to watch the tides that ebb and flow, to feel the sand beneath my feet and listen to the waves that beat a sandy shore. A kind of peace and a calm is there, a beauty that is real and rare, a fundamental goodness clean by sickly wind, that wail and moan above the sea's loud roar.
A magic place lies between the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean, where for many, heaven and earth seem to meet. This land lies flat and rich, and the water from the bay washes the shore on one side, and the sea's tides roll in on the other. Teeming little villages, small towns, fishing wharves, ladies in the summer sun, people by weather-beaten men smoking pipes and mending nets. There are names too, proud names of proud families with claims to history, early colonial history of a peninsula founded only a few short years after Jamestown, and originally inhabited by the red men, whose tribal names, Pungati, Matrapango, Akahani, still mark creeks, towns, and islands along this shore. The eastern shore holds a special charm, for neither time or progress has changed her. She is a sublime mixture of the old and the new. She boasts places of wild, rare beauty, where the wind soars high in the vines, and the white wing of the gull soars across the sun, and untamed waves wash the sand, sea clean. Perhaps it is this closeness to elemental things, this land, this water, that weaves a spell of enchantment that gives one an almost unconscious feeling of peace, contentment, calm. There is always a feeling of freedom. So it must have been for those whose names we bear. Surely you have heard their voices ringing in the pines, and you will listen. For this is your story, and this land, your piece of Eden. See here on either hand, this flat, this rich, this fertile land, the white, the glistening sand, a kingdom set apart to capture white man's heart, a piece of Eden. Ruled by Devi Devan, laughing Indian king.
My friends and descendants, welcome. Tonight, I, Thomas Savage, will step out of the musty pages of history and down from the antique shelves of time to reenact for thee the very settlement of the land whereupon ye sit. To us, your ancestors, it seemed an earthly paradise, for its woods and waters were overflowing with game and fish and fowl that fed our bodies and nourished our spirits. The beauty of this place, coupled with an air of serenity, bound us forever to its sandy shore. You must remember this place as it was then, with only tall pine trees, white sands, and Indian trails. From his court in Naswadas, or Nandua, as it came to be called, Devadevan ruled this kingdom of Accomac. There, his tribal chiefs, Pomakaman, Andiaman, Tepiapan, Kiptapith, and others, came to hold council and pay tribute in the year 1618.
harvest. Rain cleanses the soil. The sun nourishes the green crops, which then nourish your family and your tribes. Return to your homes, and when winter comes, enjoy the fruits of summer labor.
My brother, before we take leave, we must counsel with you.
It is told that the white man invades our land. What do you know of this?
I can tell you of this white man. He comes not to invade our lands, but for peace and friendship, to trade. He comes to do you no harm, my brothers, or I would have told you. He understands our language and speaks our tongue, for he has lived as a brother with our kinsmen across the water.
So what does he want of us?
Only what the Great Spirit has given us in plenty, corn and other food supplies, which are scarce with the settlers on the western shore.
But why? Why do the white settlers not trade with their kinsmen there?
I have spoken in recent times with the elders. They tell me it is easier to build peace and friendship with the white man. Powhatan seeks only war and violence, and wishes to build a barrier of treachery and deceit between himself and the white man. He and his tribes may also want of food, for the soil is not as abundant as our lands here.
Have we nothing to fear from these white traders?
I have told you many times of my friendship with Tom Newport. He is a friend. I trust him. You show no trust to your brother here.
Oh, honey. Our brother has spoken. We'll see what this white trade brings.
Now go in peace, my brothers, and free your spirits of false whispers of fear.
The Accomack Indians, unlike Powhatan across the bay, wanted no part of wars with the white man. They found no need to pillage for food when the earth offered it up abundantly. They had a little need of weapons of war when distance and isolation provided their best defense. They were willing to share the eastern shore with the white man when he came. Thomas Savage, or Tom Newport, as the Indians called him, was the first to make friends with the Indians of the Kingdom of Accomack. Shortly after Governor Yardley's arrival in Jamestown, Savage approached him concerning the land on the eastern shore.
Ensign Tom Savage would speak with you, sir.
Ensign Savage? Oh, Ensign Thomas Savage. Show him in. Young man, I have heard of your services to the colonies. You have been an invaluable liaison between the settlers and the Indians.
Thank you, sir. But I did not come here for praise.
What did you come for?
Sir, I came to tell you of a bit of exploring I have done recently on the other side of the bay.
Where is this, Ensign Savage?
Sir, the Indians call it Accomack, which in their language means on the other side of the water place. It is a tribal kingdom ruled by Devadevan, whom they call Sachem, or chief.
I've had reports of this land, but you speak of more Indians? By faith, we have Indians enough at our back door, and trouble too.
Sir, I understand your feelings, and I have anticipated your response. Will you please listen to what I have to say?
Of course, Savage. Proceed.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the Indians on the eastern shore are not like the Powhatans here. There is an absence in them of deceit and treachery. I know this, for I have been amongst them myself, and I have talked with them. They are indeed childlike in their native tendencies towards friendship. And I think you will be most interested to learn, sir, that they are willing to trade.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, I am sure. For corn is plentiful with them. The soil is rich and dark. It's flat, free of rocks, and easy to cultivate. There are great flocks of geese, and in some places, fowl cover the water as far as the eye can see. Sir, I cannot begin to tell you of the natural wealth of the land.
Your account is most enticing. And your enthusiasm, I must add, is a bit contagious. On the one hand, I'm disposed to be cautious, for I'm too well aware of the unhappy entanglements with the Indians here. On the other, I fail to see how I can afford not to take advantage of such a storehouse, which you have described, when our larders leave so much to be desired, and hope of supplementing them with trade with Powhatan and his people, at present doubtful indeed. Do you have a proposal that is equal to my position?
Sir, the only proposal I can offer is that you allow your representative to accompany me to the kingdom of Accomac and determine for himself the nature of the Indians and the trade possibilities there. This was the plan I had from the start, sir, for I would not expect ye to take my word alone on an issue of such weight.
Your knowledge in matters concerning the Indians far surpasses mine. Of this I am sure. And you reportedly have shown great discretion with your dealings with them. However, in the interest of the Virginia Royal Company, I feel it is my duty to exercise a degree of caution.
Sir, can you see that any possible harm could come from appraising the situation?
No, I do not. When can you be ready, Ensign Savage?
On Monday next, sir.
Excellent. I'll instruct my men.
Thank you, sir. And good day, Your Excellency.
Good day, Ensign Savage. Pori, what do you know of this matter? Is Ensign Savage overwhelmed with his enthusiasm? Or are conditions as ideal in the Indian kingdom as he would have us to believe?
Your Excellency, from all reports, the kingdom of Accomac is just as Ensign Savage has pictured it, a place of peace and plenty. As for the Indians, Captain John Smith himself marveled at their hospitality and wrote that they were the comeliest, most proper and civil natives he's encountered on his journey.
If this is all true, Pori, Ensign Savage has brought us a wonderful piece of good fortune.
I could scarcely still my tongue as Ensign Savage petitioned you.
Am I correct in assuming, Secretary Pori, that you are not only desirous, but you are anxious to accompany Ensign Savage as my representative on Monday next?
Indeed, sir. The Virginia Company has commissioned me to renew the salt works. The eastern shore might be a better place than Smith Island, and I should be happy for the opportunity to investigate.
Let's go on out and talk a little bit more.
This is the place. We'll wait here.
But Ensign Savage, do they know we have arrived?
Trust me, sir. I'm sure they already know.
How right you are, Ensign Savage!
Sir! Refrain from showing hostility.
Newport!
Trust me to handle this. Good God, Pony. Good God, Pony.
Do my eyes fall on balance, Tom Newport?
My friend drew his musket from fright, Chief Captain Pete. He and the others at Jamestown have known nothing but treachery from Powhatan and his braves. They know not of the peaceful nature of your tribesmen.
see any deformity there?
Indeed, no, Chief Gift of Peace.
No more is he inside, but as sincere and true. Come, freely to my country, and welcome.
In the name of my governor, I thank you for those kind words of welcome.
Secretary Pori has come to seek Devadeva's permission to renew the salt works here in his kingdom.
The settlers dislike their meats unseasoned.
My brother knows of your arrival. He is coming to speak with you. His footfall is near.
My friend Tom Newport, too many tides rise and fall between your visits, my son.
It is good to be back in your kingdom, Devadeva. I have brought Secretary with Pori with me. He comes in the name of the governor. He would speak with you.
We will talk.
The governor's man would make salt for the white people here.
And for that, I beg your leave.
Where would you make your salt?
With your consent, I shall search this day.
Search my lands freely.
My governor and people will be grateful.
How do your people fare?
They suffer from want of food, Chief.
Jamestown does not offer the abundance of your kingdom, and we can no longer trade with Powhatan.
And so we ask yet another favor of you. Pitao Lama.
Trade for food?
Yes, Devadeva, we wish to trade. We can do it in safety and in peace.
I and my people wish no other desire than for peace and friendship with the white man. We hate war and violence.
If we trade in good faith.
Devadeva and Gift of Peace speak the truth. I have known the sincerity of their friendship.
Go and tell your governor there is a place in this land for you and your people. Our bounty is in the birds of the air and the beasts of the land and the fishes of the water that surround us. This we trade in peace and friendship.
You mean give us land as well as friendship?
The land is a token of our friendship for all to share.
My people will be grateful.
And to you, my friend, there is a neck of land not far distant from here. My brother will lead you there. Take it with my blessing.
My cup runneth over, Devadeva. I have felt a kinship with this land since the day I set foot here. Never thought to call it home.
Time will seal the bonds between us, my brother.
Governor Yardley was convinced the task of transforming a little while secret frontier into a home was a hard and arduous one. But to the early settlers of the eastern shore, it was a new beginning, which embraced more than the building of homes and the planting of crops. Indeed, they, like the colonists in Jamestown, had had a vision of a way of life, had experienced the sweet taste of freedom and security, and were destined to play a part in the great drama of democracy that was just beginning.
freedom song. Against the winter winds we stand, our bodies strong from fruitful land. The warming breezes from the sea in summer fill our hearts with glee. Swing the axe, drive the stake, till the earth and watch it break. Out of labor sweet and long, swells this haunting freedom song.
This rich black land, in all its fertile glory, how well I love. So free it is to turn and till, and feel the roots that grow secure. This water here, in all its foaming glory, how well I love. So free it is to ebb and flow, to ebb and flow in evening's calm, in all its flowing No prejudice to mock and jeer. Each human soul is equal here. I'm free as birds that travel on Tis peaceful here before our own hearts, holding our own child. In my whole life I have not known such content.
Aye, Hannah, 'twas meant to be this way. There is a dignity in a man that cries out and cannot be satisfied until he has something he can call his own.
And you, Thomas, you have an entire kingdom. A kingdom to wander and work in. A kingdom to dream on. You are wondrous lucky.
Aye, Hannah, I recount my blessings every day and never cease to marvel at my own good fortune. I believe I could wander the face of the earth and never find a spot more suitable for our own habitation. This place is in my blood, It is a part of me. My heart has indeed found a home.
And my heart, Thomas, is fit to burst from my body when I see the vision in your eyes. This made my life here so full of adventure. Why I no longer yearn for home, why I found a truer home here with you.
That's a sweet speech, Hannah. I pray our son John will love this land as much as we. But we must look beyond our own personal comfort, satisfying though it may be, and partake of a broader dream. A dream that would encompass this entire kingdom. For you see, no plot of earth can remain a paradise for long if all its inhabitants do not share the same vision of its future.
And you have that vision, Thomas.
I sometimes see so far and it startles me, as all things too good to be true startle us. And I fear that the very well-being that we and our neighbors enjoy may one day delude us into a false sense of security.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean, Hannah, that being content with our plot of land here and sequestered from the rest of the colony, that we may perhaps fail to take our rightful place in its government.
And that is dangerous.
Aye, exceedingly so. For there are men without dreams, men without ideals. Those of us who have come here have struggled to attain the kind of life we want in this new land. And then there's a perpetual struggle to keep it. I feel that perhaps that is the hardest part of all.
There are men like you, Thomas, who prize the kind of life we have here enough to defend it. But you must not allow yourself to be devoured by this great passion for a perfect way of life. Such things are not come by in one generation or by one man. It's the common desire, the common aim that establishes permanence. And we must not forget the good God above us all, whose power is beyond that of big or little men. His power is strong and sure.
You have a simple wisdom and faith, Hannah, that I sometimes lose in my zeal. Please help me hold on to it. O God our Father, we thank thee for the bounty of thy hand, for wooded fields and plenteous yields, for food from bay and land.
For warmth of home and hearth, and earth so rich and sweet, for countless blessings on its shed, to make our days replete.
Amen. Hi, it's Will and your sister, Hannah. Come in and welcome.
Oh, really? It's so good to see you. What finds you and Will so far from home?
All Jamestown trembles under a cloud of fear.
What, the Indians?
Yes,
What turn of treachery do they take?
none as yet. It is their very inactivity that we fear. There has been no communications for so long that we're convinced of impending trouble.
We fear, and we know not what we fear. And that is the greatest fear of all.
Oh, my poor dear sister, do come and rest.
Promised. I should like to be marrying the child here for a spot. There are Indians here too, I know, but it will be the lesser of two evils.
Well, you need have no fear of the Indians here.
Can you be so sure of that, Tom Savage? Over in Kankanal, another brave received to depart here earlier this morning. The governor believes he is attempting an alliance with Debbie Devon. He dispatched Secretary Porter here immediately. We ourselves came with him.
Where is Pori now?
He has gone to speak with Union Burgesses. He said he will be here shortly.
Hold on! Devin, David, what is the meaning of this?
These are Powhatan sprays. They come to enlist our aid in an act of violence against your brothers across the water.
They've come together to poisonous herbs.
All this way for her?
The herbs grow only here.
And what would they do with the herbs?
Poison the white man's well water.
You must warn the white settlers that violence seems to be acted upon by Powhatan.
It's established. It's established.
Secretary Pori?
There you are, Tom Savage. And what do we have here? Do my eyes fail me? Or is that really open hunt now?
Your eyes do not fail you, sir.
With your passion for friendship with the enemies, do you ally yourself with the enemy of your own people?
Sir, if you will notice, over in Kankanal, and his brave are unwilling captives of David Eagle's silence.
What is the meaning of it?
Well, when Cat came in search of poisonous herbs that grow only in this kingdom, his intent was to spoil the white man's well water. David Even has refused him aid and has come to warn us of the impending danger to the settlers.
David Even did this. I beg your pardon, innocent savage. And you, David Even. David Even's integrity does some credit.
There are no time for apologies now, Secretary Corey. Return to Jamestown at once and warn the settlers to take whatever precautions they are able. I feel time is valuable now. It may mean the difference between life and death.
You're right, innocent savage. Come, Will. Let us be off.
I'm home.
The Jamestown Massacre in 1622 wiped out 350 colonists, enough to severely cripple the small settlement. Had it not been for David Avon, however, the casualty list would have been longer. The disaster caused dissatisfaction among the Jamestown inhabitants, who immediately wanted to move to the eastern shore. The inhabitants of the eastern shore, although free of Indian outrages, were yet to know loss and suffering too. The eastern shore was not always the paradise it seemed to the frightened, hungry band of Jamestown. That was merely a goal to perfection that the inhabitants strove. Trouble came many times to trouble both the Indian and the white man. Sailor was washed up at a beach somewhere in the kingdom of Accomac. Alive, but death and suspicion followed in his wake, for he was a victim of smallpox. The fit of delirium, he wandered to an Indian village.
I cannot relieve your bodies of their pain. I can free your spirits of treachery and tell you that our white brothers did not bring us this demon. For many moons, we have lived in peace and friendship with the white man. We have shared freely our natural gifts from Creator. I grow old, my people. Like you, I have not seen much of what lies beyond our lands. My friend, Tom Newport, came from beyond the great water. He and his people have known only peace and contentment here. We must keep this land fertile and peaceful. Set not your hearts to suspicion, my brothers. This is not a place of violence. This land, we must keep. This land, we must keep peaceful.
Capture the white man's army. A piece of Eden. Ruled by Demideva, Latin, Indian king. The smallpox epidemic very nearly extinguished the Indian tribes on the eastern shore. Those who were left lived in peace with their white brothers. But they were so few and scattered that the tribal ties weakened and their kind was soon to disappear from the kingdom of Accomac. Misfortune struck too in yet another place.
Your hand is cool. You have brought me such comfort here.
And I will be here to comfort you always, Tom.
Anna, if I shall not rise from my bed again.
Oh, Thomas, do not even think on such a thing. I shall nurse you back to health with every ounce of love and strength that's in me.
Oh, Hannah, I must say this. I want you to raise our son to think for himself. John and his generation must know what goes on beyond this secret land, and they must care too.
Your body is tired of talk, Tom. Do be quiet and rest. There'll be plenty of time when you're well to tell John all of these things yourself.
Hannah, listen, I must finish. I want our son to think for himself. You must inspire John that all this is not a personal adventure, but for the good of all.
There's a sweet spirit of independence here, Tom. You need not worry.
Oh, Hannah, but I fear the spirit of independence must be for everyone. The spirit of independence is dangerous when it is selfish and people cease to care. Help John understand that.
Of course I will, Tom. And when he does, it's sure and certain that he can fill a man's place in this world. Your were so sensitive and so wise, Tom. The colony has great need of men with just that turn of mind.
Sometimes I think you read my thoughts.
Oh, no, Tom. It's just they fall so quickly. I have to sort them out to understand them. And now no more talk. Do rest quietly.
I can rest. Huh?
Tom? 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 Oh, Tom!
The settlers all mourned the passing of young Thomas Savage, who had paved the way of their settlement in the kingdom of Accomack. But there was a son who bore his name, and to whom he passed on certain traits of character rare in most men. Thomas Savage could rest in peace. The little kingdom of Accomack, though separated by the seat of government by distance and water, made herself heard many times. Over the waters of the Chesapeake echoed the voices of the settlers in protest or proclamation. Though at first deeply royalist in sentiment, the Eastern Shore man fast became a rugged individualist. Among the prominent settlers of the Eastern Shore was one Thomas Johnson. He championed the cause of the people. It was Johnson who in 1652 called a mass meeting in Dr. Hack's old field. Stephen Horsey and William Whittington were there, John Ellis, Llewellyn Denwood, and Jonathan Nutter. And John Savage, son of Thomas, was there too.
Gentlemen, let us have silence so you can hear what I have to say. You all know I'm a member of your county commission, and it's no secret there's dissension among us. Hot words have been bandied over the taxes that weigh so heavily upon us. Taxes which are unjust and arbitrary. The other commissioners do not share our sentiment and have refused to set their names to an official complaint.
The commission is a company of asses and villains.
Since we deal with a bunch of stubborn politicians and our complaints fall on deaf ears, we must take matters into our own hands. What you must do is register your complaint and pen a formal protest, which will be sent to the Grand Assembly in Jamestown.
That's right. Let's do it now.
That's what we're here for. Whom would you have?
Mr. Stephen Charles would make it.
Charles, is it? And who else would you have?
Mr. Levine Denwood and Mr. Jonathan Nuttall.
Three more you need now.
William Whittington and John Ellis.
Stephen Horsey.
That makes you sick. Do any of you have objection to these men? If so, speak now. All is well then. Mr. Charlton, will you come forward and get on with this business? For a long time, we have supposed our county of Northampton to be disjointed and isolated from the rest of the colony. And when we received those summons for the elections of the Burgesses, your voice in their ceremony from 1647 to this last year, we assumed, and naturally so, that Northampton would become an independent province. However, such has not been the case. We want a hearing at once. The county commission does not act not breed loyalty. And I, for my part, feel none. And would strike now. Well, the Commonwealth of Virginia is but 18 days old. If you would speak, raise your hand, and I will recognize you. Simon Bailey, you have something to say?
Hi, Mr. Charlton. Indeed, I think I speak for all hands when I say I share your sentiments. We pay taxes just as the rest, but have no voice in the affairs of the colonies. I say such taxes are illegal, and would have you declare them so.
And say that we don't intend to pay it until we have answer to our grievances.
That's a good point. And if there be a free and general vote for governor, who would you have me name?
Mr. Richard Bennett.
That's right. Is that unanimous?
Aye.
John Savage, what have you to say?
I have nothing more to add, Mr. Charlton, but I would like to say a few words.
Then proceed, John.
Thank you, Stephen. I have listened well to your comments, gentlemen, and I am in full agreement. Parliament appointees have indeed overstepped their bounds. That we should be moved to protest is only natural, even justifiable, but justifiable only under certain conditions. I feel that these protests should neither be uttered nor penned in the heat of anger, for anger alone does not justify us. Only by our dreams of the future are we justified. All of us love this land indeed. Others in the colony have at times looked longingly on it as a haven, a kind of Eden. But we must remember, gentlemen, that no plot of land can remain a paradise for long if all its inhabitants do not share the same vision of its future. These words are not my own, gentlemen. They are the words of a man who loved this land even more than we. A man who looked into the future and saw this settlement taking its rightful place in our government. So I say to you, gentlemen, if these are things we think on, then let us pen our protest. But let us do it thoughtfully and free of anger, for the sake of our Eden here and the Edens in men's minds everywhere.
Oh, little secret land of the pine and seasoned, drink deep of the wine of freedom and see in defeat, yet the promise of fulfillment. The Northampton protest was sent to James City, but was not acted upon until a year later. However, these early settlers might well be called the fathers of independence. For the Northampton protest of 1652 was the first objection raised against taxation without representation in the New World. Let not your dreams be lost by failure or corruption, but hold them tightly, and someday those dreams will become the voice of freedom. And someday those dreams will become the voice of
They're open in 5 minutes. We're expecting a full house tonight. Good evening, Mother.
Just a moment. Hello.
Good evening. I hear that Mr. Cornelius Watkinson's going to be here tonight. That rich Cornelius Watkinson. I want you to be nice to him, Gertie.
Yes. And remember Watkinson coming tonight?
Yes, sir, he is.
Exactly. And you know he likes his girls voluptuous, Maggie, so get on with it, you know.
I'll have me That nice sea captain's coming now, Fanny. You take care of him, and you know what I mean.
So, you know, we're ready to open then.
Never are they lenient. Men could starve who take to sea, transporting rum, spice, and tea. Men could starve who take to sea, transporting rum, spice, and tea.
If we seek a livelihood, and what's this for common good? Just ignore the laws of trade. Those unjust laws that England's made.
Just ignore the laws of trade, the unjust laws that England made.
Let me now enumerate, telling you of my sad fate. Tobacco brings such small return, I'd almost rather see it burn.
Tobacco brings a small return, I'd almost rather see it burn.
We take our petition to the King's Commission. All they ever deign to say is no, 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 and nay, nay, nay.
All they ever deign to say is no, 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 and nay, nay, nay.
Unjust laws they should revoke. England's kings, it's a joke. Just a stooge for Parliament. Yeah, to all our discontent.
Just a stooge for Parliament.
Yeah, to all our discontent.
All is merry in this den. King is wanted in his sin. Parliament rules from his bench. Charlie courts some saucy wench.
Charlie wants a saucy wench. If we seek a livelihood, and what's best for common good, just ignore the laws of trade, the unjust laws that England made. Just ignore the laws of trade, the unjust laws that England made.
This company possessed such a clever turn at rhyme.
Oh, well, it was just such a clever turn, that's all about no problem.
I'd say we've taken a step in the right direction.
And how do you figure that, John Savage?
By the simple fact that we realize the root of our problems, and we can recognize them. There are those among us who remain quite ignorant of what we already know.
Ladies and gentlemen,
John is right.
Of course I am.
How many of you and your neighbors know that recent acts of Parliament are based upon mercantile theory?
Now you've hit the nail on the head, Burgess Kendall. Parliament aims to control the overseas plantations in such a way as to aid primarily the business and the commerce of the mother country.
And the merchants in England reap the profits. I say to you, if we be not British subjects, should we not reap some as well? Cornelius Watkinson,
Yeah.
you have come from England but a year. You know better than we the state of things there.
I do. The merchants are becoming a rich lot. It's hard to decide by their looks whether they be merchant or gentry, and I do believe that the likes of us do line their pockets. Where's my
Then what are we to do? Where do we begin?
We ignore the trade laws as long as we can get away with it.
Wait a minute. Wait. I think I have an idea. Watkinson? Did you say once that you worked in William Davenant's playhouse in London?
Watkins worked there all right as an ulster at the door.
Hold your tongue, you old sea-serpent! It was an honest job, and when I was done with that, I moved inside, and I was a prompter of lines. I learned all the tricks of the trade.
Do you know these tricks well enough to stage a production of your own?
Certainly, sir. What do you have in mind, and what are you thinking?
I believe he's thinking, Cornelius, that poetic license gives a man the right to speak his mind without fear of reprimand.
Of course, John. That is the answer. A play with political undertow.
Couched in comedy and wit.
Wit, much wit. But where would we give it?
I say do it in Accomac, where the royal ascendant is stronger.
John pulls in Punkaty.
But Watkinson, is it large enough to hold a shroud?
Oh, well, hold it in the yard. Many's the play I've seen in London in the inn-yard. Oh, it will be a mighty grand play, with music, rhymed verse, and bombast. Plenty of bombast. Oh, we will hold it in an alehouse in London that would lend to ready talk, and comedy, and wit.
Just make sure the message is not lost in the wit, Watkinson.
Leave that to me, you old rotten sea-serpent! Lord of mercy. Here I am, Cornelius Watkinson, a free man in a free world, breaking the bond of ignorance, bringing knowledge to the common man.
I have a perfect alehouse right here. Why don't we hold it here? We'll have a show.
We'll do it right here and right now. Sit down and be quiet. Friends and neighbors, one and all, we're gathered here together to see a play and praise the day, if it prove fair weather. Now lend an ear and listen well, and long before we're through, you'll find a message in this play, especially for you. The setting is a bag of nails, an inn in London town, where one can hear the latest of Parliament and Crown. The players are three hearties, each shall play his part. I am Peter Quince, the lead. Acting is my art.
And I am Howard, if you please. I much prefer to you sing?
No.
And Darby is whom I be, in favor of the king.
Forget about the players, forget about the plot. Take as you like it, according to your lot. Leave your cares and leave your woes. This play we want to dub a comedy both light and gay, The Bear and the Cub. Maestro, please.
Bring up the hearties at the air blow free. Here's to our monarch and gay frivolity. Now drink the ladies who flutter at your court, all for the pleasure of King Charlie's sport. Drink up the hearties at the air blow free. Here's to the monarch and gay frivolity. And drink to our Indians and lovers I sing. The praise of our sovereign Lord Charlie the King. Everybody. The hearties and the ale flow free. Here's to the monarch and gay frivolity. Now drink to the ladies and flutter at the court. All for the pleasure of King Charlie's sport. Drink up the hearties and the ale flow free. Here's to our monarch and gay frivolity. Now drink to all Indian and lovers sing the praise of our sovereign good Charlie the King.
Oh yes, it was a lovely day when Charles took back his crown. London has come out of mourning and every town and hamlet rocks with mirth. Long live King Charles II!
You toast our sovereign lord the king, whose word no man relies on, who never said a foolish thing, and never did a wise one.
Listen how the bull talks! They're a bit tipsy for sure.
Oh, yeah, tipsy I am, but neither blind nor deaf.
Don't go English, fellow. Do you speak our king in such a jesting manner? Has he, King Charles II, not brought back laughter and gaiety to this straight-laced kingdom?
That's right.
You best mind your tongue, Peter Quince, if you want to hold on to it.
What good is one's tongue when it cannot speak the truth? Better to have done with it.
Oh, Peter Quince has taken leave of his senses. He prattles like a madman.
Oh, no, madman, I. The ale has loosed my tongue, but any fool can perceive the wisdom in my word. Forsooth, perhaps it takes a fool.
A fool indeed, Peter Quince. You do not know when you are well off. Our sovereign has lifted the Puritan yoke from our shoulders. Therefore, we breathe the free air, shouts of laughter, fill our playhouses, and the Englishmen can once more
Oh, buck it up. Are you so blinded by this kingdom's gaiety that you do not see that every day we grow deeper into debt?
And you think the sovereign responsible?
By his extravagance at court, he has put us here. Oh, I tell you, Whitehall is a brothel. The king makes merry, not with one mistress, but a dozen.
That is your slander, Peter Quince. There are those at court that value the king's loyalty and respect his judgment.
Judgment, yes. There are those that are loyal at court, leeches all. They live in the lap of luxury, while the likes of us starve for the want of bread. Parliament holds a tight rein on the colonies.
Do not Englishmen have the right to regulate the colonial plantations in such a way as to aid primarily Parliament and the mother country?
Oh, the mother country. Mark my words, that will be England's downfall. Even the mare cub, when separated from its mother, makes its own lair.
Oh, Peter Quince, you old fool. We all know there's loyalty in the colonies, and the king has not acted the despot there.
Oh, but by his cold indifference, he has allowed his council in Parliament to rule. He kisses on his kin and kin, and wallows in his easeful sin. While Parliament rules from its bench, Charlie caught some saucy wit.
If you be sober, Peter Quince, you would not be so free with your slanderous nonsense.
Slander? Nonsense! Oh, the loyalty shall fade, the colonies are too far away, and the ties will grow thin through the rules and regulations meant to strengthen it. Oh, when this Dutch kettle of fish is cooked, I'm going to Virginia. Peter Quince will take a winch and leave you lads behind. He'll set his sail and face the gale and cut all ties that bind.
Oh, you'll be bound, Peter Quince. The marriage knot is the hardest one to break.
What wench would have that old vagabond?
There's plenty of wenches who will like to put fat on these bones.
But is it a soft wench or home-cooked victuals you crave?
It is a free man in a free world where I can breathe the sweet fresh air in Virginia, not tainted by corruption, where every man is king in his own humble.
Peter Quince, you be not sensible. Just a moment ago, you declared that the long arm of Parliament reaches all the way to the colonies.
I told you about the bear cub and its lair.
Aye, how it is back to his metaphors again.
And how mixed they be. There's no reasoning with a drunken sailor.
Drunk, you say? Thus I have seen a king at chess, his rooks and knights withdrawn, his queen and bishops in distress, and here and there a pawn. Perhaps knew the situation there too well, for they were arrested by His Majesty's attorney for Accomack County and tried. The three gentlemen were acquitted, but on account of this trial, we have a record of The Bear and the Cub, the first English-spoken play acted in America. We like to think that the play itself gave expression to the independence of thought abroad on the eastern shore at the time. An independence of thought
that would have been championed by Thomas Savage himself, that was championed by his descendants in the days and years that follow. We shall soon see.
Shall we dance?
How do things go at James City these days, Burgess Savage?
Oh, things are in a state of unrest, to say the least.
I suppose Rebel Bacon is still bent on fighting the Indians.
And a good job he has done of it, without any assistance from the governor, I might add.
I don't suppose you can blame the governor for desisting from such a tiresome war.
Oh, there's more than the governor's laziness involved. I can show you a back custis.
What is it then, Mr. Kendall?
Governor Berkeley grows rich on his trade with the Indians and has determined that such profitable business cannot be interfered with.
Perhaps, but he has also been riled by the rebels' attempts to take matters into his own hands. Any authority would resent being overridden in such a manner.
Sir, the rebel Bacon tried to reason with the governor at first, but to no avail. The Indian incursions only worsened, and more lives and property were lost.
Rebel Bacon did the only thing he could. I, for one, glory in his courage.
Ah, you sound like a rebel yourself, Mr. Kendall.
Sir, Burgess Kendall's feelings, like my own, run high at the moment. You see, we met with disappointment at the last meeting of the Assembly.
Disappointment?
Yes, sir. I referred to their failure to properly address our Northampton grievances. I was distressed, to say the least, gentlemen, at the way the document simply seems to have been dismissed.
Had we asked for the moon, we would have gotten it sooner.
Instead, we asked for a few safeguards to protect against corrupt practices of government.
Question.
Captain Custis, sir. There is a gentleman outside. I'll speak with you at once.
Has he given you his name?
No, sir.
Very well. Show him in. Major Beverly.
Custis, I'm sorry to invade your party. I must speak with you on a matter of utmost importance.
Do you wish to confer in private, sir?
No, there isn't time for that. What I have to say concerns you all. At the expense of being rude, I must come to the point. I come as His Excellency Governor Berkeley's representative. And the governor will be here shortly.
The governor here?
Yes, the young rebel Bacon has incited such a mob against the governor, it's impossible for him to remain in the Western Shore in safety. He's come here to ask for your aid to plan on his behalf.
Well, from the long standpoint of our friendship, the governor is most entitled to the hospitality of my home. Whether I can be of any further use, I do not know.
I
must be informed of his strategy.
I will leave that up to him.
Okay.
He will be here at any moment.
Captain Custis, the governor has arrived.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must regretfully ask you to retire to the drawing room. The governor is here. I'm sorry. This is indeed an emergency. Indeed.
His Excellency, Governor Berkeley, Captain Custis.
Welcome to Arlington, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Captain Custis. Though I wish we were under pleasanter circumstances.
Ashton, bring the governor a chair.
No, I don't need one. I'll stay.
Governor, I did not know that Bacon's attempt at rebellion had reached such a dangerous pass. When I first had news of it, I thought it only a local uprising that soon would be repressed.
Sir, the governor's office, his very life is in danger.
Governor, what is this plan that Major Beverly has spoken? Can we be of any assistance here?
I need my own army of men, Captain Custis. It is our only hope to regain the capital. I'll come to the point. What chance do you think we have of raising an army here?
This whole affair has come as such a surprise that I honestly do not know, Your Excellency. However, let us take stock of conditions here. There are among us right now men who have remained loyal to the crown, and of their support you can be sure of.
But you will also have to deal with those who are resentful of the passive manner in which Northampton grievances are received in James City. And among them also are men of no mean influence.
I'm prepared to do that, Burgess Kendall.
Governor, they will settle for no less than redress of their grievances. Are you prepared to do that in return for their aid?
I'm prepared to do that and more. If I'm successful in raising men and supplies here, these two counties will be set free of county tax the next 21 years ensuing.
That's a rather large promise, Your Excellency.
Sure it is, Savage, but what's the governor to do? He came here to expecting aid from you, not to be openly bargained with. Governor, I believe we've lost sight of one important factor that's definitely in your favor.
And what is it, Beverly?
Well, the latter element of which Burgess Kendall says is true. It's also true the great mass of people here have little sympathy for the rebels. And trouble with the Indians is something quite foreign to this region. Is that not true, Captain Custis?
It is indeed true, Major Beverly, and I might add, an excellent observation.
An excellent observation indeed.
Captain Custis, do you mean that you would be a party to such a scheme? Trade on the ignorance of your own people?
It is our duty to protect the governor at all costs. We must prove our loyalty to the crown by raising this army, and quickly.
I knew I could count on you, John Custis. Once we had one of following here, I hereby declare you my Major General in charge of raising the King's Army here on the Eastern Shore.
Bastion, take His Excellency Major Beverly to our guest quarters and see to it that they have everything they need. Tell the cook to prepare some food.
At once, sir. Pray, follow me.
We appreciate your hospitality.
You must refresh yourselves after such a strenuous journey.
The journey indeed has been stressful. I thank you, Custis. Your kindness will not be forgotten.
You are quite welcome. You are amongst friends here.
Thank you.
We must assemble the strongest, most able-bodied men among us.
There's one strong, able-bodied young man whose age you better not count on.
Would you disgrace your father's office of Burgess by disloyalty, Tom Savage?
You use the word loyalty. I might freely, Captain Custis. What has the governor done to deserve our loyalty? He has refused to come to the aid of the people of the Western Shore, just as he has refused our aid. They were just trying to protect their homes and families, as we were trying to fight corruption in our government. He turned a deaf ear to us both. Did he expect us to welcome him with open arms?
Please promise a redress of our grievances.
Promises? I ask you, gentlemen, what store can you place in the promises of such a man?
You know, Tom is right.
Although he might have stated his sentiments a bit strongly,
Tom is right. Would you too be a traitor? A traitor to the crown?
loyalty to the crown means that I, Burgess William Kendall, must forsake my own principles and the best interests of the people whom I serve. Well, then I be a traitor, John Custis.
Major General Custis set about to raise the king's army, but it was not an easy task. Men of the Eastern Shore were no longer in the hitherto existing party lines, and the citizens as a whole only lukewarm in its interest in the governor's cause. A few influential men who yet retained the royalist sympathies of their fathers contributed supplies and money to Berkeley and his cause. But the troops that Custis gathered were composed of a bunch of ne'er-to-do-wells and longshoremen from the outside islands. Their desire for plunder won them to Berkeley's side. And so the king's army, a raggle-taggled band, departed for Jamestown. In the meantime, Berkeley established his headquarters at Arlington and on the shores of Old Plantation Creek. The Eastern Shore continued to cry out against corrupt practices of government which had crept in during early colonization. As was to be expected, trade laws became more stringent, old loyalties faded, and by the early 18th century, ties between the mother country and the colonies had worn dangerously thin.
Not gonna do nothing wrong.
Oh, I know that, Captain. I just said he was smuggling, and he is right now. But what is smuggling? It's bringing things into molasses. You had to bring them in secret. Do you mean to say our father is breaking the law? Yes, and he's bringing some things in that he's not supposed to bring in at all.
Listen here, boy. You stop telling your sister all those things. Miss Sarah, your father's not done nothing wrong. If they were good laws, don't you ever think those are bad laws he's breaking.
Oh, I know. I overheard Father say we would all start in Parliament next baby. Parliament? What's that? Sarah, you ask too many questions. Golly, Nathaniel, what was that? I told you, Sarah. It was Father and his man smuggling. You can't smuggle without any light. They've got lanterns.
Ah, is that what you think? It's probably that old bogey.
What bogey, Catsulis?
The bogey of Craddock Marsh!
Oh, Catsulis, that bogey wouldn't be all the way down here. He haunts the woods up where my grandfather Littleton lives.
Listen here, boy. That bogey is all over. You never know where he'll show up when it gets dark out, and the wind howls, and the window panes lights out.
Oh, tell us, Catsulis. Tell us about the bogey.
All right. I'll tell you. You've got to lean back, shut your eyes, and imagine. I'll see if I can conjure me up a bogey. Listen now. Out of the dismal night and through the pitch black night, a bogey comes a-stalking, a grim and awful sight. His cry has led the hunters in generations gone. They've sought his tracks of terror that disappeared with dawn. Imprints of his footfall, lost in marshy ways, and echoes of Yahoo, Yahoo, as the monster flees in haze. From warmth of home and heart, on many a winter's eve, they've gone with gun and rod, his figure to perceive. Whether man or beast, those hunters did not know, for they never found a trace of that strange and stealthy foe. Imprints of his footfall, lost in marshy ways, and echoes of Yahoo, Yahoo, as the monster flees in haze. Their blood their souls would fill with terror, as their blood ran cold and chill, as they heard his cry resounding, long and loud and shrill, on a winter's eve, when the moon is lost from view. If you happen to pass Craddock Marsh, and there's no one there but you, imprints of his footfall, lost in marshy ways, and echoes of Yahoo, Yahoo, as the monster fled in haze. Yahoo, Yahoo! Yahoo, Yahoo! Yahoo, Yahoo! Oh!
The refrain of Catullus' tale perhaps carried an ominous foreboding. For in 1766, the child Nathaniel, grown to manhood, was a member of the county commission. It was in this year that echoes of the Northampton protest resounded in the courthouse at Eastville. Men of another generation, grown yet more individual than their forebears, bristled with indignation at Parliament's Stamp Act.
We have to stop. Gentlemen, the point in question is this. Is this so-called Stamp Act of Parliament binding upon the inhabitants of our colony?
Might I add, Mr. Eyre, that an equally important point in question is, will we incur any penalties by not using stamp paper agreeable to the said act?
Quite right, Mr. Stringer. What else do you gentlemen have to say?
We must not forget the argument of Parliament, that their purpose is to raise revenue in America towards defraying expenses incurred in our defense and protection.
Defense, protection, indeed. The colonies themselves in the last war raised, clothed, and paid thousands of men.
Not only that, John Wilkins, the colonies have been forced in the past to take part in European wars, started by the monarch of Europe. Wars which brought us no advantage.
Strong words, gentlemen. However, there is one member of this commission we have not yet heard from. What have you to say, Nathaniel Savage?
Gentlemen, I do not find that we are too far afield in our thinking. The Stamp Act Congress in New York has already declared that taxes cannot be imposed without the consent of the people. The Stamp Act, and many of those which preceded it, have threatened our liberty. I feel that if we do not stand steadfast to protect it, we defy our ancestors, and we kill the dream that they cherished. That is all I have to say.
Well spoken, Mr. Savage. Are we correct in assuming by this that you feel that the Stamp Act is unconstitutional?
Precisely, Mr. Wilkins.
Then I move, gentlemen, that we declare that the Stamp Act does not bind, affect, or concern the inhabitants of the colonies, as said act is unconstitutional.
I second that motion.
Gentlemen, all those in favor of the motion, make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? This declaration is unanimous. Let it be entered upon our record. Nathaniel is right, gentlemen. Today, we of the Eastville Court have done something which no county court in the New World has ever dared to do. We have officially declared an act of the English Parliament unconstitutional.
10 years after the memorable meeting in the courthouse at Eastville, and shortly after the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord, the Declaration of Independence of the 13 states of North America was proclaimed at the door of the same courthouse. Among those present was Nathaniel Savage, instrumental in the Northampton Act of 1766. On this day, August 13, 1776, he and others took their oath of fidelity as magistrates.
Citizens and neighbors, in a few moments, several of these gentlemen and I will enter this courthouse to take our oath of fidelity as magistrates. I feel it only fitting and proper that I, Nathaniel Savage, as their spokesman, take this time to admonish us not to mistake the solemnity of this oath, nor the import of the document we have just heard. The ideals of our forefathers are deep-seated within us, and I say to you, gentlemen, that we shall not forsake them, nor our own generation.
Let our triumph bring the promise of fulfillment. Let not your dreams be lost by failure or corruption, but hold them tightly, and someday those dreams will become the voice of freedom.